say. I should say today is December 27th, 2005. We're interviewing George and Celeste Van Hellemont. Right? Okay.
All right.
Farm Crest.
This was when it burnt down, right?
And that's
here.
the original Northville record?
That's original.
And what, wait,
And
let's
I'll
see
show
the
you
date.
pictures.
Wait a minute, George, let her
Wait,
finish.
let me see the date real quick.
The date is November the
4th, it says on here.
4th.
Yeah, well, you see, that it
65.
happened on a Tuesday. This is a Thursday. So
Okay,
it's
well, yeah.
actually November 2nd,
Okay, because yeah, it's still Thursday paper.
of 65.
Oh my gosh, firemen battle to save dairy as flames engulf farm. Wait, where are the flames?
It's in the inside.
Oh. The entire barn section was gutted, but dairy and retail store saved. So this was the retail store.
That was a dairy.
And one of 10, well, this was the dairy?
A
Yeah,
little bit of one in the corner.
And where's the retail store?
They weren't here there.
right
Oh,
there.
okay,
Right
okay.
there's a retail.
Altogether.
We just had a
Okay.
little one. Just came in, probably
Okay.
ain't a big, where people could get it, and they had drawers where they could just grab their milk and the
Kind of like
counter.
Guernsey's is now a little bit.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
yes. Well, small little doors, you reach in
All
there.
our
Yeah.
equipment
Oh,
here went
okay.
to Guernsey Farm when they built that new. I helped them set up the equipment and
Oh,
stuff.
okay. I'm going to put this right over here so that we can talk and I don't have
And then never saw.
to. Okay. 65 years you've been married. That's amazing.
You answered all the questions you want.
Well, I have lots of questions for both of you
All
guys.
right.
Okay.
You want to see pictures of the fire, there it is. This is me there, and there's the owner.
That was you?
That's the owner right there.
Oh, and this is Robert Haas. Is that how you spelled his name? H-A-A-S-S?
Yep.
Yep, that's the way it was spelled.
Yep, that's him.
His father used to own Global Brewing.
Wow. Hundreds came to see the giant blaze.
Oh, yeah, when there's a big fire like
But I
that.
can see, wait a minute, okay, so this is paved. The road was paved in 65, right? Is it paved?
Yeah, it was paved.
And they think that someone set this.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
It can't be proved, though.
Well,
the guy that's kind of a little bit nutty. When he come in there, they got it on the telephone. The office, well, it was in the dairy plant. There was an office in there, and the woman got out of there because it was on fire. The building. This guy came and he made a call to his wife, and he disguised himself. He said, I think your husband is went to help get the cattle out, and I think he got burned up in it. That was him with disguising. He even threw his pocketbook up on the ground so somebody would see it.
Why?
So the state police picked him up, took him to Lansing for a lie detector test, but he said it wouldn't work on him because he was a little bit
Oh, so he didn't burn it down because he was mad at this. Maybe he wanted
He
to
was
run away
mad.
from his wife?
no.
He was mad. He came down there for a job. They needed another hand for the cattle. And the herdsman, somebody told the herdsman, don't hire him. He's a little bit nutty. And he said, don't hire him. So he went twice, and they said, no. He said, we don't need anybody. Well, he said, you had an ad in the paper. Yeah, but he said, we changed our mind. We don't need anybody. So finally he came the third time, and he seen somebody was there, a new man was there. So he was mad, and he took off, and that's when the fire started. This end of this big barn was all open for air going through it, and all you had to do was go by and throw a match in it.
So that's what he started here
Yeah,
then.
that's-
Then how did it get on fire here?
Well, it went all the way across. They couldn't stop it. Them days they didn't have the equipment they got today.
You know, it says, and by dusk, firemen were confident. Oh my gosh, how long did this thing burn for?
How long to burn? Oh God,
Till
I'd
the next
say
day sometime.
2 hours, 2.5
We
hours.
just couldn't stop
But they
it.
were, but the next
All wood.
morning an outfit was there to clean
All
it up.
wood. Takes a long time.
That was loaded with hay and straw, the mow,
Yeah, it was all full.
all the top
At
part.
5 p.m., it was apparent that the barn was completely lost. Workers poured water down on the smoldering hay from atop a Detroit Edison ladder truck.
Yeah.
Is this the back or the front?
That's the
This is Farm
front.
Crest Dairy.
Yeah,
Oh, is that right here?
yeah, that's the dairy plant you see there. at the
Oh,
end.
so the whole thing burnt off.
The whole thing burned down, but they did stop it.
At the dairy plant.
I haven't got a good picture to show you, but they did stop it at the dairy.
Well, they must have stopped it right here.
Yeah,
right?
they stopped it right, I think they saved a little of that. They stood in here and shot the fire water the other way, and they had that little bit left there. And underneath that was a dairy plant. And they did save the dairy plant.
What was everyone looking at? Were they just
But-
standing around watching it?
That's typical,
what?
don't you? That's typical.
Yeah, people were just standing around watching it.
That's right. Yeah, that's typical.
That's strange.
So when they had done, all we got left was all the silos. They didn't burn because they were concrete and tile.
Did everything else burn?
That was all down here on 6 Mile Road.
Okay. That's sad.
And the funny thing about this, when the state police released this guy, that night, he had a barn in back of his house with nothing in it, no electricity or nothing. That burnt down. But they couldn't do nothing with the guy because he
And he had
wasn't right.
6, 7 kids, you know.
Mm,
So the
They couldn't
man,
prove that he burned it down.
Maybe
It was in his backyard. It was where he lived.
that's too bad. So what were you thinking here in this picture? You're saying, you're pointing.
Oh, we were looking at something, pointing about something.
What were you thinking when this happened? You thought, oh well, it's a small fire and we'll get it under
No,
control.
no,
Or you knew
no.
right away it was all
I
going to be
knew
burnt
they'd
down.
never get it under
you
control.
never get a
'cause
barn fire
that
down.
was solid
Never.
hay
It always
and
goes.
all everything in for the winter. You know, everything was in by November 2nd.
Wow.
You
Okay.
see?
And I didn't live, I lived a half a mile further down on the farm.
Okay, half a mile east.
Yeah.
East, right.
Okay. I brought a map. I wanted you guys to show me exactly where everything is.
Well,
where it was.
what's there now? Just, you know where the old township hall was? Is? The old one, not the
Yes,
new,
yes.
yeah. Well, that was our land right there. When they finally sold us for subdivision, why, Thompson Brown bought it,
Yeah.
and they donated so many acres for a township hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Margaret told me a little bit about how. Well, she told me how she remembered how the house got hit by lightning,
Yeah.
and then the house went up in flames. And she said she remembered they carried a piano out and put it on the lawn because the house was burning down and they couldn't get it under control.
Yeah.
She said this. So she
Oh, that was that was the house that was the end of the barns right up in here.
Uh-huh.
Lightning hit it.
Yeah. Yeah, she told me
The
about
guy
that.
seen lightning hit it, and he called me and I run up and we got hoses and everything, but when we opened up to go upstairs, it was just an inferno up there. You couldn't go up there and you couldn't put it. And that time they didn't have the departments like the fire departments like they got now.
Did you carry the piano out?
No,
Huh?
no,
You
no.
remember carrying the piano out?
But no, look,
No, I
they,
didn't, but some of the other guys did.
they
I was
did get
too
that
busy
fire
doing
out.
other things.
They got it.
They got
They
it.
got,
They got the fire out in that house.
They got it out.
but then they never rebuilt it, right?
No, because the house was an old house, but a beautiful house. And they got everything down to the first floor, and there was nothing left, right? They tore the rest of it down. Tore it down.
Okay. Is this the pictures? Are there any more pictures?
Yeah, no, that wouldn't show you the house.
Spectacular fire. That makes it sound good, but it wasn't.
No, a fire's never good.
Well, that's what it
This
is.
is great. It's wonderful. See, these are my maps. I don't have the greatest maps in the world. This is a 1876 map, but this is Waterford over here, I think. Hold on a second. 5, 6. 6 is right here. Okay, this is Waterford.
Mhm.
So you guys were on this land right here, right? Did it
There's
go-
a railroad. Our property was this 6 mile.
Yep.
Our property started from here and went almost 3/4 of a mile down on both sides of the street.
3/4 of a mile. It
Close.
started at the
Railroad track.
railroad track and went down here.
Many times I was planting, I see them old trains coming with that black smoke.
And you didn't go all the way down to, that must be Haggerty.
No, you're not far as that, no. Haggard's the other way.
No, we went down to the next farm, which would be Aldea's farm. In fact, where the old township hall was,
Yes.
our line was just a little bit east of that.
Okay. Did the Sessions originally own some of that land?
Who?
The Sessions? Because Margaret Teggy
I
said
don't-
they bought from the
don't-
Sessions,
Sessions.
I don't think so.
like Sessions Hospital guy.
Yeah, but that Session Hospital was on 7 Mile
Yeah,
Road
they
north.
moved. She said they moved from there. And
Well,
went-
there was
moved
no
there.
hospital there when I was there, 67
No,
years
she
ago.
don't mean hospital, she says people's name.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
remember any Sessions
I
there
don't
either.
Okay. Okay. Well, you came in 42.
Yeah.
Okay. How much did they own? How far up did it go? It went all the way up to 7 Mile or no?
No, they owned on 6 Mile Road from the railroad east, approximately 3/4 of a mile. And they owned both sides and went a half a mile.
Oh, a half a mile.
Yeah, each side. And then the state hospital was from here on down back.
Yeah, they were back of the farm,
Oh.
and that was no pleasure.
Why is it?
We won't go into that.
Yeah. I want to go into that.
No.
Was it odd people would show up?
Sure, that's
Yeah,
it,
we
you
had them
know,
come around the house and stuff.
walking people
And
up
you didn't know
there
what to do with them.
with baskets and, you know,
They
knives laying in the basket and stuff.
Really?
Well, certainly, you know, they just walked away from there.
One guy, one day I was going to the dairy and a guy is there standing. He said, "Sir, have you got a light?" And raining, just pouring. He had a cigarette in his mouth soaking wet and he wanted me to light. I knew there was something wrong. I called the state hospital and they come up
Are
and
you
picked him
missing
up.
somebody?
They come up.
They're
my
always
God.
Oh, we
missing
called them
somebody.
several times.
They were
They used-
always missing somebody.
So they never had,
Security, no.
but they never had fences or anything
Well,
either.
later the people lived around there made them do that. See, we moved away from there after that, but we lived around it, you know.
You lived, but did you guys live north of 6 Mile then or south of 6 Mile? At the time when you were living there?
We lived
You must have lived south of 6 Mile then.
south of,
No, wait.
north of 6
North
Mile.
of 6 Mile.
North of 6 Mile.
Oh.
You know where that, what's that place's name on there?
Winchester Road comes close.
What's the name of that factory, that little shop there? All them cars are parked there. That's where our house used to be. Right there next to it. Well, we were right west of the bank there now. That's where our house used to be.
Yeah, you know the bank bought that property. There was somebody in there.
Was it, wait, off of Haggerty?
No, on
All
6
6
Mile
Mile
Road.
Road.
There's a bank on 6
You
Mile?
know Winchester Road?
Oh, wait, I know where the bank is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, on the south side of the road?
No, on the
No,
north
all on the
side.
north side. It was all on
I'm
north.
trying to think where there's a bank.
Well, not, it used to, it wasn't, it was banks up for the, but we lived right next to that. There used to be a bank there and they left there, did some kind of an outfit there.
Where is it in relation to Word Presbyterian Church? Where Word Presbyterian Church is now?
That's too far.
Okay.
Motorola, you know that fact, them cars were all that Motorola sets?
No, I
That's
have to
6.
look though.
Well, look, and that's
Okay.
where our house
And
used
that's
to be
where your
right
house was.
there.
And so in 42 when you moved in, you got that house.
Yeah,
And you didn't have any kids then.
One.
You had
we had
one.
one baby about 6
Oh, he
months
was a
old.
baby, he was 10, 12 years old.
No,
When we moved here, Jerry was the only one we took, the rest of the boys were gone.
oh, you mean here?
Yes.
No.
I'm
I'm
she's
sorry.
talking about the other house.
Yeah, I mean,
We just had a little baby.
When
there.
I moved there, my son was 5 months old.
Yeah,
Okay. And so you'd grown up on a farm.
Oh, yeah,
And you had grown up on a farm, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So it wasn't any big deal. You're just moving a couple miles down the road, right?
Yeah.
And to another farm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what was it like? What was like the daily life like?
Oh, don't even have glad.
Well, I thought it was good. I
Work from
was
daylight till dark.
Really?
Yeah, you work long hours.
Yep.
Well, you worked for the farm and got paid. Did you work for the farm
No.
also?
No,
But you kept the
but
family
she had
in the
everything
house.
there on the farm. She raised chickens, turkeys.
Okay, so they gave
Oh,
you. Did they give you a little plot of land that you could?
Oh, I could use what I wanted
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a garden, and she raised some turkeys, and we had ducks, and
Oh, yeah, we,
I don't remember if we had geese or not. We
no,
had chickens
no,
and
we have no
turkeys.
geese, no, we don't.
No, we don't have no geese.
I did them when I was home.
And you had well water, right?
Yes.
Their well water?
Yeah.
And
No, well,
Yes.
yeah, it was from a well water, but it was a great big well deep by the dairy, and it furnished the whole farm. They had
7
one,
houses.
2, 3, 4, 4 houses, 5 houses with a Gunnison house, five houses it furnished. They run lines through there, underground,
Okay.
all to these houses. But the main pump, they had a pump house not far from the dairy, and the wells were deep.
We all drank the well water and still drinking it.
you're on well water here?
Yep.
We got the city water line running across the front,
If you
But-
want to tap into it.
but we were happy with the well water and we still use it.
Yep.
Well, it's worked for you guys, because how old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
How old am I?
Mhm.
Well, I hate to tell you, but I'm 90.
You're 90. That's great. And how old are you? Should I ask you that?
86.
That's wonderful.
I know it's wonderful.
I think it is. I think it's great. So obviously that well water has worked for you.
Well, they say that when the man pulls the well periodically, he'll say, well, a lot of magnesium in this. This is good for you. That's why you're still here.
Ah,
And he'll say
okay.
that. And you know, magnesium is black.
Oh,
It's a dirty black looking stuff, but whatever it is in that water,
Yeah.
I guess it helps
you're
people. I
fine.
don't
There
know.
you go.
Well, you got a lot of minerals,
Minerals
in
in
that
it, yeah,
water.
iron, you know, and rust and all
Not
that.
like in Detroit, water is all toilets and everything.
I always
you
say-
reach down over and filtered out and you drink
Don't
it
tell me
back.
that. I'm drinking that.
I know that.
Well, I
Well,
know, but
we
that's the
drink a
way it
little bit
is.
too sometimes, but you
Yeah.
know, it's water's filtered, and a lot
Yeah.
of people wouldn't drink well water, but I think it's very good. It's hard water, you know.
Well, I'm sure that
But
when they
it's
test it, they obviously it's good, or they wouldn't let you drink it.
Oh,
But so
yeah.
you had well water there, and then there was electricity in the 40s?
What?
Was there electricity?
Oh,
In the
yeah.
40s?
Oh,
There was
yeah.
electricity.
Yeah.
Okay, and you had like washing machines or no? They had washing machines, so it was all modern.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, but it was a 2-lane dirt road, right? Was it
At
dirt?
that time, no.
No, it was paved when I
This
came.
was
It
dirt
was.
out here.
Yeah.
Okay, how far
But
did
I
the
went down
pavement?
that road before that, before it was paved, but it was paved when I moved there.
Okay, and then, well, yeah, because you grew up right around here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when it used to be dirt, and 6 Mile Road, if you know, coming east, they took a part of our farmland, or his farmland, and they made it gauge and went under the railroad.
Yes.
Well, before, it went straight right over the railroad.
Yeah, it seems like that would be better to go straight right over the railroad.
No, it
Well,
wasn't
that
very
wasn't
good.
Why?
Icy.
It was icy, and then the railroad was built up, and from
Oh.
there to Northville Road, it went down like this, so you came down.
You know,
It
what,
wasn't-
actually, we have that same problem on Sheldon Road going down into town.
Yeah, you have that.
And and I never drive that if it's icy because people
Right.
slide off the road.
Well, you see, we have a problem now since the county fixed this road. Our driveway was flat, we drove right out. Now we gotta go
Now you
up.
gotta go uphill, they built that up
Yeah.
about 2 foot and kind of the hill up there.
Okay.
So now, it's not as good as it was,
No.
but
Uh-huh.
what are you gonna do?
Well,
So you took care of the kids, and then you ended up having 5 children?
3 boys,
3 boys and
no girls.
Okay.
See?
And what kind of stuff do you remember doing? Like your daily routine? You guys would get up in the early morning?
Well, we had 10 dairy stores at that time. So I used to go to those dairy stores and maintain stuff on the farm and make sure everything was all right. And
What, how did the whole Farm Crest start?
how did it start?
Was it already going on when you moved here? I mean, it was already established, it was an
Yeah, when
established
I
farm?
moved,
and
well, we put a lot of additions to it.
When you first moved here, they didn't have any stores, it was just a dairy? Or
Yeah.
they had all the stores and the
Just,
bakery?
all we sold was milk.
Right there.
Milk,
Okay.
cream, and dairy products. That's all. No groceries or nothing.
Well, did you sell ice cream?
Huh?
Ice cream?
No,
No, we didn't handle ice cream.
no. You have a certain kind of a cooler to keep it cold.
Oh,
And they didn't have that kind of stuff.
We had big coolers in there, but that was just for the milk
For
and
the
stuff. But we didn't get into the ice cream end of it.
Okay, but when you first moved here, like how many people, when you first moved in 42, how many people were working there?
Oh, there was John. He was running the dairy, and probably 3. Wasn't
Only
very
3
big then.
people working there?
That's all. Wasn't big then. They only had about a half a dozen jerseys left, or 8, 10 jerseys, and all they did is milk them, and they didn't have anybody working the fields at that time. Joe Denton, I took Joe Denton's place. I don't know if you know Joe Denton.
I've heard of it.
He was a police chief in
Yeah.
Northville for years.
Yeah.
Well, I took his job down there. He decided to go into the police business.
And retire,
Okay,
kind of.
okay,
So
so
I
you took
took
his
his
job.
Yeah.
So then, at the very end, like in '65 when it burnt down, how many people were working there?
Oh, God.
7, I would say.
Oh, we had a secretary. There was 2 in the dairy. That's 3. And 2 or 3 in the barn is 6. Probably about 7 or 8 people year round. And then when summer come, we used to get the young boys out of the high school at Northville. They'd send
Yeah.
some out, and they helped us put up hay and stuff like
Okay,
that.
okay, so, but it's amazing to me that only a handful of people could do all that work on that farm. That's maybe why you had to work so hard.
Well,
Well,
no,
there's only 2 of us doing
you
the
have to
planting
get
and
up
stuff,
early,
and
you know.
myself and another man. We had 2 tractors going. When I first come there, they only had an old broken down tractor with 3 horses. Well, we used horses for a year or 2. Then we modernized and got into tractors and stuff.
But see, I'm not a farmer,
well, see,
and I've never lived on a farm, but it seems
see,
like,
then you don't understand any of that
Yeah,
stuff, and that's
yeah.
hard. Yeah, that's hard.
no wonder you worked so hard though.
No, but that's part of life, you know.
Now, did they, they had, and most of the people lived on the property, right?
Yeah,
Right?
we
Was
had
it 5
houses.
houses?
Yeah, we had.
And so all the different families lived
Yeah.
there?
Mhm.
And did everyone eat together?
No,
Like you see in the
each
movies?
had their own home.
They
Okay.
each had their own home.
Went home to your own
When
house.
they put the certain hours, when they had their hours in, they went home, that's all.
That's it. You
They
worked
they
from
didn't
8
have to
to
work
5.
far, and on the farm, there was a house there on Bradner Road in 6, and there was my house, and one across, we had 3 there, and one back, where the pumps were. There's 4 houses. The 5th house was the owner's house.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have some more questions.
Yeah, you gotta get them questions out for you.
I want to make sure that my son decorated this. Okay, someone told me there were polo fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a polo field there when I came. We took it down because Phil Grennan, that really owned the farm to start with, he was a polo man, and he had, I would say, about a 30-acre field, I think, and he had a rail around it, all the way around, steel things, and they played polo in that field. Well, then when he died, and Haas married his daughter, and they came over here. Well, we had no use for the polo field, so we plowed it up. And, well, it was just grass before anyway, but we plowed it up and put crops in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, part of the farm crest was over here, and the other part of it was over where I live, right?
Yeah. Well, this is the end. This is the end of my property. Here was the end of Farm Crest. Right here, about 75 feet, 80, 100 feet was the end. And then then it run to Gibson's farm.
To the edge of Gibson's farm?
Yeah.
Yeah, to Gibson's farm. You know the big white houses left on that side?
Oh,
That was Gibson's. Yeah.
Then there was a
He had
Gibson.
on both sides of the street too.
Yeah.
yeah. So he had a portion west of Sheldon, and where his land ended.
Yeah, well, then the edge of his land, Farm Crest started.
Well, that was probably then the edge of where the high school ends, right? So I'm east of the high school. I'm living on the Gibson's property,
Oh, yeah?
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think. And then where the school started was the Grennan Haas property.
Yeah,
I
how
think you're
far
right.
from where the end of the high school property, you lived east of that, didn't you?
I do, right now, yeah.
Yeah, well then
Yeah.
you're on Gibson's there.
Yeah, okay. And the Grennan, that ranch is still there. Did you ever drive and see?
Oh,
you
yeah.
go
You mean
there?
the log cabin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did a lot of work in that thing.
What, okay, so what was the area like out here then? Was it all for grazing crops?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it was all,
No houses.
no houses, but no trees?
No.
It was just,
Oh, a few trees.
oh
now.
yeah, there were trees, there was a patch of woods that, about 10 acres of woods in there. from years before that, they had a big a maple thing, making maple syrup out there in the woods.
Are they still there?
That's
The
all
trees
gone
have
now.
all-
They subdivision tore that all out.
Well, we have some, it's very small, but we have some wooded areas. Not
Have you?
very much.
Not too much, no. Because when they went into from here, back of us, they just started tearing it all down. All the big trees, just tearing everything down.
I can't remember any wooded area in
Oh,
Farmcrest.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh, it
on
was
Gibson's, on
I know,
the north side of the street.
I don't know, but
Well,
there's-
then it must be part of Farmcrest though, because
that
we
was
have
the
Well,
back.
Farmcrest didn't have any right at that spot either.
they had a lot of woods in the back.
It was
of it.
just,
woods in the back of it. That's yeah.
In the
'cause
back.
In the back of the subdivision,
Right.
before you
Well,
know where
Gibson
those big
Gibson
mansions
might
are.
have had some woods in the back end, I don't
Okay.
remember.
Yep, it
But
was
they had
woods.
mostly all apple trees. They were in the orchard business.
That was here.
That was
They
an
had-
orchard on both sides of the road.
On both west and east of Sheldon.
Yeah, west
Or-
of Sheldon,
Yeah.
but north and south of 6 Mile Road.
Was
Apple
orchard.
orchards, apple, pears.
Okay, but did Gibson sell some of that land then to the Wayne County Child Development Center? Or the Home for Feeble-Minded Children?
No,
No, that's, you're talking about Wayne County Training School.
Yeah.
That
No.
used to be all the way here on
No.
the front.
that was a
What?
separate deal.
Went
Okay.
all the way up, and Gibson's had a hunk of land. This is Sheldon Road. Gibson's came about like this and down here, and
Okay.
all the rest in that area, that Sheldon Road, was all Wayne County Training School.
Okay.
That
And
was
they
it.
had a farm in the back end there, to keep those kids doing stuff. The silo is still there yet,
It is?
yeah, right across here. About a
Two
half
silos
mile.
are together, I think there is. That's-
Silo is still there. They kept the silo. When the subdivision bought that from Wayne County, they put all these homes in, but they kept the silo. The silo is still there. You can see the white silo in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you take a ride with me and show me where it is? I never noticed that.
Well, how you can't miss it if you go through that subdivision across the road over here.
That is such a big subdivision though, I get lost. That's
Yeah,
a
but
big
see-
subdivision.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
you
get
know,
lost too in a lot
You
of it.
know, if you
But
just
I know how to go from this street here right on to 5 Mile Road. I got that.
you just got
I
the,
got
Yeah,
through
it's
there
better than me, because I can't do it.
well, you haven't did it, you gotta
Yeah.
think, now, this is, I gotta go right straight, don't make all these turns, just go right straight and you
Yeah.
come out.
I
Are
often-
you sure they still have the silos there?
I remember the barn. They had a nice barn there and stuff. And the barn was all tore down. But they left the silo. I don't know why, but it's still there.
Aren't there two of them there?
Can you see it when you go outside?
No.
Not from here you can't. You have to go down the street and go down a little.
Okay, I'm gonna
You
try
have
to
to go
find
down
it.
maybe a half a mile.
Well, you gotta go down there and it's a little difficult, but you can see them, there's no problem with them in there, going there.
No, you can see it.
When you make this squishy thing there by that golf course thing, they're on this side.
That's interesting. So did any of those kids ever wander up to Farmcrest?
No.
Yes, once in a
Once in a
while.
while, so-
They used to break into the old log cabin back there that belonged to Hop.
Okay. And do what?
Just,
Well, one time he had a gun, a revolver in there. They stole that and they shot holes in the damn refrigerator and everything. And they used to steal some of the liquor. You know, he'd have a
Oh,
little
wow.
liquor cabinet.
Yeah, I believe that. They're probably boys.
But outside of that, they didn't do
No.
too bad.
Oh. So when you moved out here, did you feel kind of weird because you were surrounded by all these different facilities?
there was nothing out here.
There was nothing else.
Really?
Wayne County Training Center was out here though,
Yeah,
but that was not.
if you live back of the state hospital, you can live any place.
That was
I just assume live by the prison.
back
we
at the
did.
state hospital was on the other side of
Yeah,
North
7
Road.
Mile, yeah. Because, I know, we was never, that didn't bother us a bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I have to ask one question. Oh, okay. When were you born? What was the date that you were born?
Oh, Jesus.
7/4/15,
7/4/15. Okay.
July 4th.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. 4th of July. Never forget that. When were you born?
11, 16, 19.
Okay. And how did you guys meet?
Well, her folks had a farm on 7 Mile Newburgh.
Okay, but it's not there, because they built the subdivision there.
No.
Is it on the southeast corner? where
It would
was?
be the,
On the north.
it would be the northeast corner.
Okay,
You know where Bros Electric
Yes,
is? Well,
yes.
right there, that corner.
That,
is that, on the tape, you
No.
said the house was still there and your brother was there.
the house where I was born is still there. It's a big white house.
Okay.
There's my brother Bill lives there, and he's got antiques of all kinds, and he sells them. And he's an antique boy. He bought all kinds of stuff from lanterns, so you name it, he's got it.
How do you get to that house? Is it off 6 or off
No,
Newburgh?
off Newburgh,
I mean 7 or Newburgh.
off 7 and Newburgh.
You get to it off Newburgh.
All right, Browse Electric, and then there comes a bunch of stuff in there that they toward my dad's old